guys, it's Colin with Ghost Train Comics. I'm coming at you today with a review of Daylight, which is volume 1 of the new Batman series by Matt Fraction and Jorge Jimenez. Covers 1 to 6 of the relaunch of Batman from number 1 from last year. It did come out last week, so we'll be popping this one on the channel midweek this week. It's fast-paced, built on logic, gives a grounded location-based take on Gotham, which I love. The constant kind of movement from area to area is a really smart device by Fraction. It's a very intentionally scaled device, which is really smart. Makes it more like a TV show or a movie that's fast-moving and keeps hopping from scene to scene, but with a little kind of a section like where you are. So it also adds to the realism of Gotham. The constant check-ins on costume gadgets also makes us buy the reality that we're in. And the final kind of intentional device the Fraction uses to separate out the sections and give us a sense of time passing and where we're at in the story is the news shows. It's also a little nod to the kind of Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns classic of using the kind of the news inserts. I mean, Tim Burton did it as well in the 1989 Batman, so it's a long-standing device, but it works well here, the Gotham gang, etc. It also keeps the background subplot information and characters kind of ever present, even when they're not in the actual story directly. So you'll see Commissioner Vandal Savage, you see check-ins on now Officer Jim Gordon after previous storylines, but it does tie together disparate elements and uses Batman and Co. also as real, living, breathing characters. Daylight really does act like a new series, with a balance between introduction and continuation, which is always tricky when you take over on a super popular book, especially one as kind of high profile as Batman. And Fraction and Jimenez do manage to hit that point, that sweet spot between the two in the first few pages. The art is kinetic, gorgeously vivid, and always surprising. The costume choice is stunning with the bright blue hues, showing a very dynamic costume that soars and brings a joy to every pose display or in-action reveal. It's just such a beautiful design, and the color is so vivid on the page. It was interesting hearing Grant Morrison, who wrote the modern version of Batman in the recent Batman v Deadpool series, and he said he loves what Fraction is doing with the character and he loves the blue, so he was happy to use that version of Batman in that story. The stories contained in this first volume move fast without breaking things, whilst fully moving everything along, with Fraction expertly stirring each subplot and keeping them all simmering neatly. One thing I learned reading this is apparently Jimenez likes cars. Apparently this comic is brought to you by Graphophene. And apparently Jorge Jimenez really likes cars, especially the curved stylings of classic muscle car designs. Big shout out to colorist Tomo Moret, who really brings the art alive here and kind of underscores a lot of the points that you can see that Fraction is making and Jorge Jimenez is bringing to life. Tomo is kind of the last piece in that puzzle, layering it all perfectly for the end result that we get. And talking of design, letterist Clayton Cowles, Steve Cook and Damian Ryland all contribute to a sharply put together package with an aesthetic that makes it a smooth, concise read versus a collection of stuck together single issues that some collections can come away feeling like. Fraction so effortlessly pushes past the cliches and barrels full tilt into the world of Batman and all that it entails, without ever boring us, doing the expected, or being afraid to shock us or take a character in another direction. Killer Croc and Riddler are both exactly what fans would want to see, I think, and also at the same time fresh and exciting takes. The reveal at the end of issue 6 is peak Fraction surprise, of course, bringing in the #1 character that everybody was waiting to see what Fraction would do with. So I'll be intrigued as to volume 2. I've heard some things from the monthlies and what's going on with him. But yeah, I'll be really interested in seeing where he's going with that. So my only question on this, after asking you, of course, to subscribe, to like, to leave a comment, to let me know what you think, is why are you still watching this instead of reading it? Thanks. Bye-bye. Enjoy.